มาจึงกระนั้นปันสองครูจีนปรัชญาไม่เพียงสามัคคีกลมนันเนียสองครูบอมรากาเปียกัมพูชีมาตรงรบเนียเปียมเปียสันเสรีไอ้กระเรียนโบนาเพียมอาธรรมปไตยไม่ประเสริฐโดประดันไทยรักษามันอ่อยบ่ตึงเฉลียงเปลี่ยนหมกตรวจตาสมบัติโดนตาทนเทียนเจียบขมายเรียงอาทิตย์เรียงบอมลือกัมพูชีขมายไอ้เพียงเมียต้องสลายปัญหาโยบายเศรษฐกิจสังคมอันหักษาขอปลอดไร้คลาจีเบียบเพียงรุ่งเรืองใจยืนปูยืนผู้เขายืนขมายกรองลานสังคมเจียนไทยรักว่าชนะเอาจอมเราอำลาจุนรัชเชียนำไปกัมพูชีรวมรู้เส้นสายเจียโยคณะป่าสังคมเจียนมาจึงกระนังปังสองครูจีนปรัชญาไม่เพียงสามัคคีกลมนันเนียสองครูบอมรากาเปียกัมพูชีมาตรงรบเนียเปียมเปียสันเสรีไอ้กระเรียนโบนาเพียมอาธรรมปไตยไม่ประเสริฐโดประดันไทยรักษามันอ่อยบ่ตึงเฉลียงเปลี่ยนหมกตรวจตราสมบัติโดนตาทนเทียนเจียบขมายเรียงอาทิตย์เรียงบอมพลือกัมพูชีขมายไอ้เพียงเมียต้องสลายปัญหาโยบายเศรษฐกิจสังคมอันหักษาสอดวัดไร้คลาจีเบียบเพียงรุ่งเรืองใจยืนปูยืนผู้เขายืนขมายกรองลางสังคมเจียนไทยรักว่าชนะเอาจอมประดออำนาจจุนประเชียนำไปกัมพูชีรวมรู้เส้นสาย
and welcome everyone. Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the show. This show is called Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. My name is Linda Wu. I am broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. So I am glad that you're here. This show is aimed to unite the vibrant and passionate voices of Khmer youth around the world. So we dedicated to a common cause. To promote human rights and democracy in Cambodia. As you know, Cambodia still face significant challenges regarding human rights and democracy. So for those living overseas, for us living overseas, our heart remain closely connected to home, which is Cambodia. So we deeply feel the with our people in Cambodia. So I hope that you continue to join our show every Tuesday. Today, the topic for the day is dancing with the regime, dreaming of democracy. What does it mean? It means we're going to talk about the issue, the basically current issue, and we will let the international community know that, stop dreaming, waking up. So today I have Mr. Ricky. He is the General Secretary of CNRP-America. He have not been here for a long time. I mean, he's been here many times, but for a while, he's all over the place. He's been to Asia. We will talk to him how he been, and then we want to know if his passport pages are full yet. But before that, let's welcome Mr. Ricky. Can you see me, Mr. Ricky? Either is it my can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Your internet has an hiccup. Yeah.
Okay, everyone, here's Mr. Ricky. He, like I said, he's the General Secretary of CNRP-America. He been to many shows, live show, and now he's here speaking English with us. So thank you, Mr. Ricky, for being here.
It's what was the question? Because you got disconnected.
Just welcome to the show.
Oh,
Introduce
yeah.
yourself.
Thank you for having me tonight, and I appreciate your time spending with me.
I think, Mr. Ricky, is your internet that is slow. I can see myself, I can hear myself, I can see myself on the show. So Mr. Ricky will fix his internet and we'll talk to him. I think it's your internet.
My internet?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought it's, but I see my picture and there's fine. Okay. Yeah,
Let's
we
see.
have some technical issues here then.
Either my internet or your internet. Hopefully our audience can see us and can
Yeah,
hear.
I apologize for having this difficulty, and it's not good to interrupt the train of thought. And but we are moving on right now to the show.
Yes.
We
Um,
will start.
tell our audience, where have you been? You've been traveling the world. Where have you been? Who you met, and what's the purpose?
Well, you know that every activist in the U.S. or across the globe are very busy doing different activities, going to different places for different purposes. But our common goal is to restore democracy in Cambodia. It's our effort. It doesn't matter where we are. We always talk about democracy and human rights in Cambodia, and we really need um, the freedom of speech. Of course, recently, yesterday, you saw what happened. So we want first our people everywhere that love democracy and human rights to please stand with us. We try to advocate even to the lawmakers across the U.S. and Canada and other countries as well, trying to support the Cambodian desire for real democracy in our country, to promote democracy and also to advocate, to ask for help for the people in our country who cannot voice their concern or questions about what their life's going to be. So there is no real democracy at all. So we went to Taiwan, and of course we joined the inauguration of the 16th term president. um, it was a good experience. So again, they always talk about democracy there. We went to Thailand, if we talk about democracy there, and then we went to Korea. We visit um, this place called the National Cemetery, but also the 512 Museum, which is where the Korean or South Korean democracy started, when the students or the intellectuals stood up to the dictators and risked their life for what they wanted. And at the end, it was in 1980, and then the people won. And now you can see that South Korea is a full democratic country. And then, of course, after that, we return to the U.S., our homeland, and then we'll continue to do our advocacy everywhere, contacting the senators, the U.S. representatives to help us to restore democracy back, because we need to reclaim what has been missing for our people for so many years under this dictator. And now we are on the show. So again, we work nonstop. We never stop fighting the fulfilling our goal. We try every day, every moment, as long as we are alive. That's what our goals. And until we get our goal achieved, which means the dictatorship will end, and then real democracy will prevail, and people will enjoy the real peace in the country, in our motherland, Cambodia.
It just also happened that this weekend is the anniversary of Dr. Khmer. He was assassinated 8 years ago. Is there anything going on in Modesto, Lokpo?
Yes. Thank you for mentioning about the 8th anniversary or the commemoration of Dr. Khmer. And we already know that Khmer was shot in broad daylight in Star Mart in Phnom Penh, and we still could not find the real killer. It's only a fake one that Hun Sen has produced, and this is what is going on right now in Long Beach, the slide you just showed. But I also have one in Modesto as well. We will hold Dr. Khmer's 8th anniversary in Long Beach on Saturday, but in Modesto we will do it on Sunday. Yes, about the same times. And please join, because Dr. Khmer was a prominent politician, not politician, but a prominent commentator, political commentators. He also social activist, and he's the social analyst to analyze what is going on. And Hun Sen did not keep his life. He got to be put down by the regime, and the poor families are now residing in Australia. So he said the last word. It's so many quotes, but he's asked us to stand up for our freedom, for justice. If we don't do it now, we might not have a chance later. So please wipe your tears and move on. This is the quote that I always remember, and I always talk about this when we do our advocacy, and when we go to talk or make a speech in our community. We want our people to please actively join us, not just talk and share and do something like just go to the vote. You don't fulfill your civic duty as much as Dr. Khmer wants. He wants us to get involved if we want real change. So not just Dr. Khmer, it's many others that were assassinated in the regime, like Chudwati, Venerable, the Honorable Monk Sambuntuan, or the union leaders, Chia Vichia. We haven't found the real perpetrator or the real killer. They always hide somewhere, and this is very, very sad. That's why we want justice for all of them.
Yes, and if you are around Long Beach, please join us. It's going to be at the temple, Putmungkul. So starting from 10 a.m. So please join us, remembering his life, remembering his legacy, and the same that Buriki said, wipe your tear and continue your journey. So we need to keep pushing. So I'm hoping to see and meet everyone on Saturday at 10 in the morning. So if you are around that areas, or you are around Long Beach, please join me. Please join the Long Beach team, and most of all, not just join me, join to remember his legacy, the life that he gave up for speaking. So just to think of him. Talking about, I actually found a video I want to show. It's a video from Instagram. So I want to show a little bit because I feel that it give a message. If our youth is actually watching, I want our youth to listen and see what's going on. But give me a minute to find that video. I have it, but I want to play it so that way it's, to me, it's very short, but it's very simple. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, let me see. It's all in English. Okay, I hope you can see this.
You there, second desk, blue jacket. What is your name?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis, please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
I don't understand.
I am not going to ask a second time. Thank you. Why are there laws? What are laws for? Anyone?
Social order?
To protect a person's personal rights.
So that you can rely on the government?
Justice? Thank you. Tell me, was I unfair to your classmate just now? Indeed I was. So, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try and stop me? Why didn't you want to prevent this injustice? You see, what you have just learnt, you wouldn't have understood in 1,000 hours of lectures unless you lived it. You didn't say anything because you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you and against life. You think it doesn't concern you, so it's none of your business. Well, I'm here to say, if you don't help bring about justice, then one day you too may experience injustice, and there will be nobody there to stand before you. Truth and justice lives through us all, and we must fight for it. Because in life and work, I mean, we often live next to each other, but not with each other. We console ourselves that the problems of others are nothing to do with us, none of our business. And we go home glad at night that we're spared, but it's about standing up for each other. Every day an injustice happens in business, sport, or on the tram. Relying on someone else to take care of it is not good enough. It is our duty to be there for others, to speak up for others when they cannot. I am here to teach you the power of your voice. I want you to learn critical thinking to empower you to stand up for what is right, even if it means going against what everyone else is doing. Let's begin.
How was that, Lupu?
It's
Simple message.
it's a very powerful message to teach the audience or the students in that class specifically. Just a good example for not speaking again, for not speaking for your classmate, and one day then it will come to you. If you just sit down and watch because it doesn't affect you, that's not right.
And the same thing like Dr. Khmer said, sooner or later it's going to be your turn. It's just not your turn yet. So hopefully from the message, and hopefully anyone that's watching this can understand, it's very simple. Sometimes it doesn't have to be someone got beat up on the street, but it's just a matter of a student sitting in class that you have to speak up. That's a very simple message. People say, oh, when such and such happened on the street, I will help them. But this is not even on the street. It's inside a classroom, or can be at a business place. Doesn't matter where you at, you need to be able to speak up. And the same thing, the message like Dr. Khmer said, sooner or later will be your turn if you don't speak up now. So just pull it up together. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, and also the word he used, the last one, was critical thinking. That is very important. If you understand what critical thinking is, meaning you have to think deeply, what's the outcome of these actions going to be? Is it going to have a good turnout or not? Or somehow you have to have the skills in you in order for you to make changes, because critical thinking will lead you to a bright future and make you involve and think of a whole picture instead of just a piece here and a piece there. Yeah, you take it apart and then you put it back together, and you can synthesize that because you have critical thinking. And that's the message is where for us as leaders or as human beings, we have to be involved, what we want to do, not just talk and talk and talk. Talking doesn't cook the rice. We need to start doing it, getting involved, spending your time, your energy, your money if you need to, and use your skills, your knowledge to help make the change become a reality. And it's in this case, meaning in this case, we want to have a real change for democracy. So a message to all Cambodian youth or Cambodian children that are living across the U.S. or outside the country. So please understand or talk to your parents, ask your parents about what Cambodia is like right now, and compare to the time they were there 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. What is the situation now? Is it getting worse or is it getting better? And you can do research yourself. Since Cambodia is part of your blood, Cambodians, you are Cambodian. Your parents, although you're born here, many of you were born here probably in the U.S., like my children or your children, but they have us parents, Cambodian parents, or grandparents, or great grandparents who were born in Cambodia, and we want our own identity. We want the real country, and in order for us to live with the full value that are respected by other ethnic groups in the world, we have to have a home, and our country is a home. If we don't have a home, we become homeless. No one's going to treat us like we deserve. They will probably look down on us, say, hey, who are you? Oh, I'm from Cambodia. Well, you have a country? Well, like Champa or Assyrian, they don't have any more country now. Look what happened to them. So we don't want you to face this kind of difficulty in the future. That's why we are working so hard, and we need you involvement in doing this together.
Thank you, Mapu. Let's talking about youth involvement. Yesterday was a very heartbreak. Was a very many people are not happy about the verdict. I mean, nobody happy, but at the same time, we are very not happy. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me bring you a picture so that you can see. I believe if our youth have social media, they would have see this 5 young activists. They call themselves Mother Nature Basic Environmental Activists. That the Hun regime have found them guilty. So this after 5, but 10 of them are environmental activists convicted by the Phnom Penh Capital Court of plotting and insulting the king. So this is plotting and insulting the king. All 5 of them are currently in jail from 6 to 8 years. Do you have anything to say, Lupu, before I go any further?
Very, very sad day for our youth, especially these youth are working very hard days and night to protect our environment. You know, the environment is very important. The trees, the forests are important for the Cambodian people. They're not working for themselves. They're working to protect the environment, to save the nature, to respect what we have left in there. Very small percent of forests that are still existing in Cambodia, and they worry so much that, well, even these forestry are gone, or it's gone, then the future generation won't have anything to see. There are so many trees that are so important to our culture that people can just live around the forest, and they can survive without killing or cutting it down any trees. They can use the fruits or leaves or even roots to survive, like during the Khmer Rouge. You know, they didn't have enough to eat, but when they go to the mountain, they go to the jungle, they can find food everywhere. They can pick fruits, leaves, flowers, and then or roots to cook and then to feed the family, feed themselves. And these people want to keep those forests instead of killing, cutting down trees, because those illegal logging across the countries in Kompong Thom and Kok Kong and Previhi, everywhere. So now it's less and less trees are left for the future generation. And it is very sad that they accuse them for doing something that they didn't even do. You know, like for accusing them for violating the code or looking down the king, whatever. They have nothing to do with that. That's not even their job. So they got accused for saying something bad to the king. Well, the king, you have to understand that sometimes the king is not always right. They are the kings, you know, in the past. We have problems with our king as well. Even see as Prince King Sihanouk, you know, he made so many mistakes, and the Khmer Rouge. That's what happened. The Khmer Rouge took over because Sihanouk was the one that called all all the people to stay with him, to stand up with him against the Khmer Republic, and then the civil war started. The Khmer Rouge took over the control of Cambodia in April April 1975, killing 2.5 million people. And King Sehamani is what is he doing right now? He was the one that has the blood in his hand because he was the one that allowed the government, the Hun Sen regime, to dissolve the CNRP, Cambodia National Rescue Party. We end up having no major opposition in Cambodia now. And of course, you know, these youth have the right to say something. Look at Hun Sen. What did Hun Sen do to Sihanouk? He was the one that bashing the king, bashing the royal many times, and he should be the one that go to jail, not these people, because he's the one that look down on the king and say, if you don't sign this treaty, 2005 treaty, which is to give control to Vietnam, then I probably will change the regime into the republic. Remember back then? So there's nothing wrong with him. He still walk around and become more powerful. He's now the president of the Senate, and also, the acting king as well, if the king is to leave the country. So this is very unfair. That's why they say justice is dead. So there's no justice. When there's no justice, there's no real peace. And when there's no real peace, the people will not have a happy life. And every day when they're born, when not they are about what am I going to be next? Then these people are not working, not even for the government, and just try to protect the environment. They got accused of doing the wrong things. And look what happened to these the cronies who shot 2 people and then injured the other 2. They have premeditated desire to kill, intention to kill, but then they only get like 15 years jail term and asked to be outside. And this is very unfair. These people, these youth did nothing wrong. They want to protect the land of Cambodia, and then they end up going to jail by doing the right thing, just because they do the right things. And the regime did not put the guys that killed the people, the murderers, or the cronies that are around them in jail as they're supposed to.
Yes, and this was less than 24 hours ago. They were sitting in front of the court, and there is no need to be dragged. There's no need to be shoved. But unfortunately, like Lapu said, this tycoon that's killed 2 people and injured 2 people was put on a car and just drive to court with this Mother Nature, the youth, shove and drag. It's not even necessary to do that. This is not only about deforestation in Cambodia. The youth brought up many issues like dirty water, spilling dirty water into the oceans. They talking about protecting the ocean. So it's not just about forests. They bring up a lot of information, a lot of awareness to Cambodia. You want to watch this with a noise level, maybe sound better? Let me see. I want you to, this is the day they was waiting for their verdict. So they dress up in white to represent,
Like
justice.
a funeral, yeah.
Justice is there as a funeral. Let me turn on the volume and see.
Yeah,
It did
you're
not
stuttering.
critics, only those with crimes. Cambodia has sentenced 10 environmental activists to jail for up to 8 years for plotting against the government and insulting the king. That's according to the founder of the activist group, Mother Nature, and a lawyer on Tuesday. The verdict comes amid growing concerns about freedom of expression in the country under Prime Minister Hun Manet. 5 of the defendants were arrested outside the court in capital city Phnom Penh immediately after the verdict, as supporters dressed in white held placards reading "Justice is dead." Activist Ton Rotter.
The court charged us with plotting to overthrow the government or insulting the king, etc., trying to do whatever to jail us. That is a big mistake, and not only affects the court system, but it affects the new government that has young blood, which we hoped would have democracy, respect human rights, freedom. But on the contrary, it showed us their fierce activity.
Mother Nature has long campaigned against environmental destruction in Cambodia. The group highlights deforestation, illegal sand mining, and corruption in development projects. The group's founder, Spanish national Alejandro González Davidson, who was sentenced in absentia, said he was one of 3 charged with infringing Cambodia's lèse-majesté law. He told Reuters that while the accusations of plotting against the state had not been clarified in court, 3 members were arrested after documenting suspected pollution runoff into a river in the capital in 2021. The lèse-majesté charges relate to an internal Zoom meeting about political cartooning that was leaked. New York-based group Human Rights Watch branded the verdict devastating. The Cambodian government has previously denied that the trial was politically motivated, saying it did not prosecute critics, only those who commit crimes.
Yeah, the sound is kind of broken and very hard for people to, but they could understand the main idea there. Yeah.
It's very devastating. They are in jail for 6 to 8 years, but unfortunately the people that caused the destruction, deforestation, all these that we're talking about affecting the environment, it's still walk free. It's still benefiting from deforestation. It's still benefiting from putting sand into the oceans, putting sand into the lake so they can build or develop condominium, making millions and billions of dollars, while the people who bring attention to how bad it is for the environment, it's in jail. So
I also want to add something to Linda. Sorry.
go ahead. No, it's okay. Go ahead.
You have to think of this. The people that are committing the crimes are not just walking freely, but also holding the higher position in the government, like Tri Phiep or Lee Yong Pat or Kit May, just to mention the three. And they are the president of the Association of Oknya, the tycoons. And now you can see that who's behind these guys. These guys do not have the support. Do you think they can be able to survive in Cambodia for 24 hours? No, they won't. So now they have been here for years, and the Hun regime has been living out of this corrupted blood, you can say blood money, by taking money from the people and also selling illegal logging, making money online, cyber crimes. I know you're going to touch that issue as well. They are still running the country, running the governments, and so these people are we can see them everywhere right now freely. They are the one that's supposed to go to jail. If it's in the United States, they won't be able to run everywhere at all. The people, in fact, the people that the youngster that environmentalists, they receive, I believe, the world's environmental award,
The livelihood award,
livelihood award for 2023, I believe, last year's.
Yes.
And the world know what they're doing. They're doing the right thing, so they awarded for what they have done for Cambodia, for the environment. But on the other hand, those people that I just mentioned, the leaders, are not doing anything, and then they run the business, the tycoon business. Their business are blooming, and while the people are getting poor, the forests are getting less and less. And this is very, very sad. It's a sad day for our environment and our people who struggle for democracy, for change.
I want to touch a little bit on what one of the environmental activists said. He said about new blood. New blood meaning Hun Manet. Hun Manet is the prime minister of Cambodia currently. He was a lot of people expected a change, expected to improve the conditions of human rights and democracy in Cambodia. But unfortunately, it's not improved. And as you can see, the young environmental activists, the youth environmental activists, 6 to 8 years, and we know since Hun Manet been as a leadership, it's almost a year now, none of a political prisoner or prisoner of conscience have been released. Beside that, you see many political opposition that currently continue to be in jail. So in this case, we want our international community, especially the European, especially the United States of America. Hun Manet is not a new blood. He is a new blood, but it's the same old people, the same people from the Hun regime who still destroy democracy and still does not respect human rights in Cambodia. And one of the environmental activists brought it up. He hoped that Hun Manet will help improve the condition, but unfortunately it didn't. The other condition that didn't improve in Cambodia is the cybercrime. Look, Boo, how the situation in cybercrime in Cambodia?
Well, it's another issues, a very alarming issue that we never have this at all when we were there. When I was born, I never the safe house for the cyber crime, for organized crimes, because we were safe. We can travel anywhere. Kampong Sam used to be like heaven for us. We visited in. I love to go to Kampong Sam because of beautiful beaches. Is the people and the house everywhere there we went was very how do you say, attractive, but now it's very scary. I've never been there since 2015 or even sooner, and 10 years ago, it's getting worse. You can see through Facebook that the Chinese are now running Kampong Sam, saying it will, and people that are living in Kampong Sam are very worried about their lives as well, because there are people that are arresting or trying to get the people to even to organs to change, especially for money. 5,000 or 10,000 for ransom. If they get one person, they might get ask the person to trade for the money, for the ransom, whatever they want. So the father or the mother, the parents of the victims, will do everything they could to get their children or the child free from what's the crime that another countries are committing. And that's run by China especially. And I want everyone to watch the U.S. Institute of Peace that Madame Musakur and her team was talking about last night. This is real. This is not something that we just talk from what we think. These are the facts. Experts, professors, researchers have found that Cambodia now become, for the few years already, become a safe haven for the criminals, especially run by China and supported by the Hun regime, Hun Masan and Hun Manet alike. These are senators or the tycoons that are powerful in the regime, and not even the police chief could touch, but reports are there. So they make millions of dollars, billions of dollars. I believe that billion of dollars every year. It's very sad that Cambodia become a safe haven for the cyber crimes, and this is alarming. So we need to keep talking. We need to share. We need to ask all the international community who love justice to please get involved, actively involved, and then do something to help Cambodia. That's what we want. And also, in addition to this, we would like all the Asian country leaders, there are 9 others, if not Hun Sen or Hun Manet. This is not just Cambodian's problem. It's Burma, it's Vietnamese problem as well. So we want those Asian nations to think of a way to stop these cyber crimes, because it affects their own citizens, their own people, unless they don't care about their citizens anymore. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because people will keep putting pressure on the government to just, hey, this is not just Asian or one country or the Asian member countries' problem. It's the problems of all Asian 10 countries. So let's do something. And we are hoping the U.S. government and other involved countries would be doing something to help stop this crime. Yes.
Yeah, many newspapers, including the Economic Times, label Cambodia as the new cybercrime capital of Asia, and caused by Chinese-run group that run their business with the help of local influencer. We know who the local influencer are in Cambodia, and in many cases, you can never find out who the real person, because I always say that we always have a rescue operations. If it's cybercrime, we rescue somebody or rescue group of people in a compound that been tricked to go into compound, and in the promise of having a job with high pay, but at the same time on those compound we can never find who's the leader, who responsible for bringing these people in. So according to the United States, I believe the title United States Institution of Peace, Cambodia is up there regarding cybercrime. And like Lupu said, it's very alarming. It's very alarming that for many years, I think for 2 or 3 years now, that we're talking about cybercrime, we're talking about human trafficking, we're talking about all these smuggling to human, to money laundering, everything. We never can find who behind it. We can never say, hey, this person is in jail because of this crime, because of cybercrime, money laundering. We have not found anyone. Not when I say we, meaning the regime, the Cambodia government have not found anybody besides they having their little rescue operations and help the victim. But unfortunately, like anything else, it's not just one compound, it's many compound that, and Lupu said the same thing, billion of dollars being laundry, being dirty money is moving around in Cambodia. And the United States have classified Cambodia as tier 3, meaning there's no significant effort into helping solving the crime, no significant effort put into controlling cybercrime at all. Zero. So
we heard from the expert last night saying that this is through a U.S. Institute for Peace presenters or researchers. He said that, I believe as Jeff or Jake said that it's not just happened in Kampong Salmasen or Will. It's across the country, hundreds of places, except they did not want to disclose the locations. So we are talking about getting better or getting worse. It's getting worse. So to say that the Hun regime is doing something, trying to prevent this from happening, in fact, they are trying to promote more location across the country. So now instead of concentrating on just Sihanouk Will, they're getting to Battambong, to Kampong Sao, to Kampong Thom, or to Kampong Chnang, to the western or east, southern part of the country or eastern part of the country, everywhere. So who's behind it? Again, it's the Hun regime. The answer is very simple. If he is willing to stop this crime, he would do it within 24 hours or maybe 48 hours. I would say that would be the fact if he wanted to stop. But do you think he's going to stop it? I don't think so, because he's making billions of dollars from these Chinese business who are committing the crime in Cambodia, and they say, hey, you are doing this. We will support you, and then of course we're going to share the profit, and that's how we make money. So this is dirty money. This is very sad to say. In our motherland, it's happened, but it is going on. And I would like to raise awareness to the world that this is Cambodia. The Cambodia we know now is not the same as Cambodia is about 15, 20 years ago, or even in the 1960 or 1970. It's even better. This is getting worse.
Yes, and what's getting worse is you see the EU, you see the United States, you see all these countries is working, and also I know they're working because they're concerned about the people of Cambodia, but at the same time they are giving the Hunmanite leadership a chance. Next month it will be 1 year since he been hand the position of the prime minister being put on a silver platter and give it to him. I think silver platter might be too light, maybe gold diamond platter for him to handle the prime minister positions. And since then there is not even one single prisoner got released. So the title of our show is Dancing with the Regime. So international community, please stop dancing with the regime and thinking that it will solve all the issue. It will solve the democracies and human rights in Cambodia. It's not going to solve by playing with the regime. And we see it from yesterday, the 10 environmental activists that for 6 to 8 years. That's what the regime is doing.
In fact, August 22nd, when the father handed down the power to Hun Manet, Hun Sen gave the power to Hun Manet, and like you said, it's not getting better at all. The international community thought that, okay, well, let's give him a chance. He's a new leader. He might have a fresh start, and in terms of Cambodia, but in fact, it's a fresh start to put more people in jail, not only releasing them, but putting more in jail. And like I said, we all see this. It has been going on. Mr. Kautsarai, many others. Now there's 60, or now 65 or 70. It used to be like 40. So the numbers keep increasing. So this is for the time for the community to international community to step up, instead of just talking, dancing with the regime just because they say it so and you believe them. They say they will improve the human rights activity, that people will have more freedom to speak. I am sorry, this is not true at all. Even just to share our show or to watch what people outside the country has been advocating or talking, presenting the facts, and if anyone that are sharing or even giving comments, they are not going to be able to do so because the regime is behind, is after them. And so they're afraid to speak up, even though there's a right that are guaranteed under the Constitution or under the agreement of the NGO and the government, but still they cannot speak the truth. Yes, they can say they can dance with the government, then they're free. They can do whatever. Yes, ma'am. But that's not what we are here for. We are a human being. We are real people. We are not a robots, and therefore we need to speak the truth. And talking about that, and it's time for us to get involved again. We don't want to be like those group of students that Linda showed earlier, when the professor or the teacher asked one student to step out for no reason and everyone else just sit down and say, huh, what's going on? They ask themselves. They didn't even stood up to protect, demanding the professor for doing the wrong thing by kicking one of the students out for doing nothing. So that might happen to the people inside Cambodia too. If you just sit down and do nothing, the chance for you to be like one of those victims, not the five. The five, I don't call them the victims at all. They are heroes actually, but the victim I refer to is the one in the classroom that was presented in the show. So we don't want to be like that. We want to help each other out.
We want everyone inside or outside the country to be able to say that is injustice, and we need to help each other. And like I said, I want the international community, and I also want us as well that live overseas. But for Cambodian that live overseas, I want you to understand that giving the Honmanite government, the regime, a chance, it does not solve any issue at all. It is almost 1 year soon, and we are talking about democracy, and we talk about human rights today. In the next couple of weeks, we will talk about economy. We'll talk about tourism in Cambodia. Those are things that, especially economy, it's not improving. We still see over 2 million migrant workers in Thailand and go to other country. And also those workers are suffering. Does not have human rights. And so we will touch base on that, and we will review his 1 year. But we all know the first 1 year, the first day when he was hand over the position until now, there's nothing improved at all since almost 1 year. So we will touch base on that today. We'll touch base on human rights and democracy, especially the freedom of speech, and it's a little bit of cybercrime, because that is something that is a very hot topic. And the American or the U.S. peace institutions paying attention to Cambodia, because a lot of activity is in Cambodia that affecting the outside. And also in the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about the Rim naval base regarding China as well. So do a review on the regime where it's nothing improved, and so stop giving the Honmanite regime a opportunity, stop dancing with Honmanite, and hoping and praying that democracies and human rights will solve itself. It will not. So, and by doing like us, we will call as it is. I guess Her Excellency Mosu said, I think it's a cat, call it a cat, or a dog, call it a dog. Don't stop dancing with the Honmanite. So in that case, thank you so much, Lukpu, for being here, for explaining what's going on yesterday. It was heartbreaking, but it's nothing new for the regime. It's nothing that we expect differently. Again, stop expecting different. We need to call like a cat's a cat, call a dog is a dog. So we need to advocate for Cambodia. We need to speak up. And if you are in America, if you have not contacted your Congress, or you have not contact your senator, please contact your Congress for HR 4659, Senator S2331, the Cambodia's Human Rights and Democracy in Cambodia 2023. Please ask your Congress and senator to vote for that, to support that. We have probably less than 3 or 4 months away before the end of the year, but please work on that if you are in America. Anything last word you would like to remind our audience,
I,
Lupu?
I just want to remind our audience, especially the Cambodian American youth, to please get involved. Like I said, Cambodia is not just our country; it's your country too, and you don't want to lose the country to these criminals. It's not just belong to the Hun regime; it's belong to us all. So you are playing a part of it, and as your obligation or your duty, civic duty. So act up and try to get involved. Yeah, actively involved. Talk about it, speak up at the event and in the events, 4th of July events or Cam Blaze events, or even just sending text messages to your friends to please stay with the Cambodian people who are fighting so hard for democracy, especially these environmental activists. They are not the victims. They are not victims. They are heroes. And if 5 of them stood up, they could go to jail. But if 10, 15, 100,000, 10,000, it could be millions of people show up trying to do protests, hold protests everywhere. There's no jail for you guys, for them. So that's what we need. We all need to be united for a good cause, for um, the change that you wish to see, what Cambodia in your dreams would like, democracy that you want to see. We want people to live freely, to express themselves. They deserve the human rights, that the right they're born with, not just living under these dictators who tell you what to do or what to speak or how to live. You are owning your life, so you have the right to protect your your generation, your children, or the grandchildren to come. So thank you, Linda, for having me, and thank you everyone for joining us. I know you might be having some more ideas. Send us comments or any question that you have. We will respond accordingly.
Yes, and if you are around Long Beach or close to Long Beach on Saturday, Gamley remembering his legacy at Wat Putamangkul in Long Beach. Please contact me, or please contact our team, or put in a message into this show, and we'll let you know. And beginning of the show, there's an address also as well. So please join us. It's very important to remember his legacy. He gave up his life to speak, to bring social issue, any issue, environmental issues, and whatever he spoke about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, it's relevant. It's still relevant to this day, and it rings, so it's still true today. So please join us to remember a hero that gave up his life, gave up his family, just to bring in so you can hear the issue, what's going on in Cambodia. And because the regime's so afraid of who he is, he's no longer here with us. So please join us wherever you at. If you at close to Long Beach, hope to see you at the temple. If you at closer to Modesto, please contact Lapu Rikia. He will let you know where it is. And all over the place, I know many chapter and many state also have a remembrance as well for him. So please, and not just a state, in different country as well. I know because he's such a beloved person who speak the truth, open up the truth about the regime. So, and I wish that our youth that listening can be inspired to help change, just for one person to do. That's how he did. One person can change everything. So please show up, please speak up, and please, if you see anything that anyone or in anywhere that injustice, even in America, please speak up as well. So thank you so much, Lupu, and we'll speak to you hopefully more often.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Linda, and
Thank you,
good night.
Lupu, and thank you, everyone. Good night.